It's lights out and away we go!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the GT UK F1 podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, David.
Hello, everyone. How are we today?
I'm knackered. I don't know about you, I'm absolutely knackered after this weekend.
I didn't get up to watch it live. I'll say that I got up at 7:30 and grabbed my record. I didn't want to leave it too late, because I've said before, I hate not seeing a race because you've got to do such a media blackout.
Which
Which in this day and age is rather difficult because stuff like my phone likes to randomly throw F1 results at me every now and then.
exactly. So
I got that watched, and last time actually I've been to work in between since.
yeah. So obviously it's been the Japanese Grand Prix.
Which I still feel really weird talking about the Japanese Grand Prix at this time in the year.
Yeah, but it wasn't all smooth sailing, put it that way.
No, you know what I mean though, because like I said, traditionally to me, Japan was always
Back
back
end.
end of the year. But I don't get me wrong, I understand why they're trying things like this, between calendar and also, I think they were trying to catch slightly better weather, weren't they? Which
Didn't work, unfortunately.
well, at least we had a dry race day. I mean, let's just we know when it rains in Japan, it bloody rains.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So obviously David didn't catch any of the practice sessions.
I'm afraid that's going to be a regular theme, unfortunately, due to the hours I work and things like that. It's just not always feasible.
So most of it's going to come from me. Or
Yeah.
FP1, FP2, FP3, and Q1. Because you said
Yeah.
you caught two. You said you caught Q2.
I caught the back. Yeah, I walked home as Q2. I come into the house as Q2 was ongoing.
Yeah.
Well, no, my dad was watching it, recorded it from the morning because I finished work at like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think it was on like 7 o'clock our time, which is literally just when we're getting busy.
Mm.
The last race, the qualifying was at 6. I got to sit and watch it at my desk before I went out loading a van.
Yeah.
And this time I couldn't make that work.
Well, obviously, in FP1, you had another Japanese driver in the session. You had Iwasa in the session.
Yeah, driving for Racing Point. Not Racing Point,
RB.
RB. I read that. You know, that's RB.
Yeah, he was
Racing Point, there's a blast from the fucking past.
Yeah, he was driving Ricardo's car.
So Honda having 2 Japanese drivers out for
Well,
obviously
yeah.
the home Grand Prix. Probably keeps Honda happy.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean,
I've heard rumours, I don't know if you know how true this is, that when we get this big shift around in 26, the Aston Martin team's going to become a factory Honda team.
yeah, they're getting Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. It's been confirmed. Aston Martin will have Honda. So they're ditching the Mercedes engine and going for the Honda engine.
Yeah, because obviously Red Bull are going to Ford, aren't they?
At this
So,
point in time, that deal, I don't know. Don't know whether it's up in the air or what.
because obviously, we've said it before, I think, but I know the Red Bull technically has a Red Bull powertrain, but it is still very much the Honda engine.
Well, it's actually, yeah, it's still classed Red Bull Racing Honda, Red Bull powertrain.
Yeah.
So yeah, Honda are going to Aston Martin in 2026. Ford is supposed to be going to
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Audi taking Sauber.
Yeah, so that's...
In a time when Formula E's losing manufacturers, F1's gaining them, it's a good time for
Yeah, but it's weird.
internal combustion engine.
Okay, so you're going to have only 2 teams with Mercedes engines.
Mercedes and
McLaren.
Williams. McLaren, sorry, as it stands.
Oh,
Well,
and
Williams will be running.
Williams may keep the Mercedes. My bad. So, Sauber are going to be getting rid
Audi.
of Ferrari.
Especially because you're a factory Audi team, in it, for all
Yeah.
intents.
So you're gonna basically only have Ferrari and Haas running the Ferrari engine.
Yeah.
I mean, is that?
Let's not complain. More manufacturing the sport has to be a good sign.
Well, I'm not exactly complaining, but is Aston Martin's move to Honda a bit of a middle finger at Merck?
I'm sure there's some business deal. Lawrence Stroll is at the end of Lawrence Stroll is a businessman.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure there's monetary reasons would be I think he put monetary reasons above any personal vendettas.
Because obviously, obviously Sauber will be Audi, but we'll see.
But anyway, so practice one, so I didn't derail that one.
I'm already gonna say this. I still think Sargent's days are numbered.
I was going to say, I mean, obviously, as I said, I didn't see, but I'm here looking at the results. And Sargent last over nearly a second behind even K-Mag in front of him.
And he only did
10
laps.
He did far less laps than pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, but he had an issue.
Yeah, he stacked it, didn't he?
Yeah. And that's usually Albon's job, but...
Well, do you not see what I put in the group chat today? Of their car for the next weekend?
Yeah.
They were going for one of those two-seater ones. They're not going to have chassis left to give them a car each. I kind of feel bad for Williams because they're in a rough place.
Too right, they're in a rough place.
And we'll get on to Albon's incident during talk about the race, I'm sure, but I don't put the blame at his door.
But
the poor teams are struggling to get cars together in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that yet.
No, we'll come to that at a time, but...
I mean... I
mean, to be fair, that Iwasa, to be, 16th fastest.
Yeah.
He's not bad going, considering it's his first time in the car, sort of thing. He's beaten some experienced names there.
Iwasa's... F2.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, F2. And obviously he's part of the Red Bull family. Even in F2, so that's why he got the drive.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have still got to put more
I'm not seeing his name in F2, maybe F3. Maybe F3.
Sure it's not F2.
I can't see his name here. I'm looking at the F2 listings now.
Could be F3 then. Correct.
I'm not trying to make you out. I'm just literally...
No, he's...
Can't see his name here either.
Unless he's
having a year out or something.
Unless he's been brought in just as a... Unless he's been brought in as a reserve because of Danny going to RB. Because Danny was a reserve.
2023, he was Dams Motorsport.
Of...
F2.
Right, so yeah, okay.
And then 2024, he's now doing Japanese Super Formula.
Ah, right, okay.
Team Mugen.
So he's super... Yeah, but he is part of the Red Bull family, so he's, let's say, he's been brought in.
Yeah, driving for Team Mugen.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty standard. Okay, Perez had a better practice this time. And then FP2 was a bit of a washout. 13 cars out of 20 went out on track from basically 6 downwards. So
Never set time.
never even set time lapse because they were just doing. I think they were just doing exploratory laps.
Probably a good chance to get the wet weather tyres on the car and just see how they feel.
Well, they only had they put the inters on and
Because Inters, right? Well, even then, because it's not something they get a lot of chance to trial in, because you never know where the race is going to go.
yeah, but it was inters and apparently they got burnt up. Some of them.
Hmm.
I mean, you got the likes of Oscar topping the bloody timesheets. Beating Hamilton.
That's not surprising. It's Yuki in fourth. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but because of the ones that did set time lapse, they're quite slow lap times. Considering what
if it was a wet circuit, yeah, you can't go full speed in a wet track, right? Come on, you played the game.
I know, but considering what they were, what they were banging out on practice 1.
I mean, you've lost 4 seconds. If you compare Max's best time in FP1 to Oscar's in 2.
Yeah.
If we did that to practice 3, okay, it's 5 seconds from practice 3. That for a wet track, and for a track like Suzuka, which has a lot of
but it wasn't
high acceleration areas.
It wasn't that. It was the fact that I don't think nobody just. I think they wanted to get a little bit of data because the data that they had, they couldn't use. The data from last year, they couldn't use.
Yeah.
So they just did some exploratory laps. A couple managed to get some time lapse in, and there's some data for them. But I was kind of surprised at not seeing like the Red Bulls get some data.
Obviously felt confident. I'm guessing just.
You didn't see any Aston Martins there. You saw one Ferrari. 1 Ferrari, 2 RBs, 2 Saubers. Obviously, Albon in the Williams. Didn't see Sargent because of. I think he stacked it. He did. He stacked it.
He stacked it in FP1, and they were still building the car.
Yeah. Oh, you did see 2 Ferraris, but Carlos didn't actually set a time. He just did some exploratory laps. Lando did some exploratory laps. You only saw one of the Alpines as well. It was a bit of a mixed bag, was that, because it started raining, then it stopped, and then it started again, and then it stopped, and it didn't know what it wanted to do. And then obviously FP3, well, normal service resumed, considering from what you had. The only change was the fact that you had 2 Red Bulls on top with Russell in third. That was it.
Yeah, so
it was identical, bar first and second were identical, third place wasn't, and then the rest was just.
Yeah.
At least Sargent managed to beat K-Mag. And just for the record, no, I've not gone on a hating Sargent thing. It's the fact that I just think that he's not. There's somebody else could be in that seat. Somebody better. Could be somebody better than him in the seat. But who?
We've had these with others.
We'll find out.
There's a couple of people whose seat I think are very questionable right now. But
yeah, Lance Stroll.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll, Logan Sargent.
I'd say Danny.
And Danny.
I know you're not going to like that.
No, I kind of want to agree that I think it was a bad.
I mean, Yuki seems to have stepped up a gear this year. I think Yuki's realised there's a little bit of pressure on him because, from his last few years of not really doing a lot, and all of a sudden, I think there's enough talk of goings on at Red Bull to make people like Yuki think, well, if he shows performance, there could be a chance at the big car.
going to sound wrong, but no.
I mean, I'd be inclined to agree with you, but
I couldn't see. Honestly, couldn't see Yuki.
I'd be inclined to agree. But all this talk about Max maybe deciding he's had enough and just leaving. I don't think there's a lot of truth in that, but it's enough to make people like Yuki just think about it. And if he can just put some good performances on, doesn't do himself any harm, does he?
No.
Not to mention, as I say, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of good praise from Honda of having a Japanese driver in the car.
Well, yeah. Well, Honda's then switching, Honda's not then switching.
For 2025, it's still going to be with
Oh,
Red Bull,
yeah, I know, for now. But, yeah, no, just FP3 was just the usual, and then... Now... Q1. Obviously, you didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm afraid I was still on my way home. Now, to be honest with you, the knocked out cars, there's nothing out of the ordinary there, unfortunately, and I say that including Lance Stroll.
Well, I think Stroll, I think he's feeling the pressure, to be honest, because the fact that
Fernando gets you up to like fifth.
Well, this is what I mean. They both had the same upgrades on that car. They both had the same package, and he just can't deliver. Where, like you say, Alonso was setting 129.2.
He's 8/10 of a second down.
Yeah, he's up there.
That's eternity.
Yeah, but he's up there in top 5. He's split. He managed to beat, obviously, Hamilton, beating Oscar.
Looking forward to this. Stroll's best lap was a full second slower than Fernando's best lap.
What, in the race?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but you've gone for that far forward now.
No, but I'm just saying, because that's not something we really talk about during the race, but
no.
If it's bringing towards the point of Stroll and Fernando, the gap. If they're both identical machines, which to all intents and purposes, as far as we know they are,
yeah,
to be a second down on him on your best lap is a mile.
Like I say.
And he's there, classic Alonso, he set that fastest lap on the last lap of the race.
But Stroll's day is numbered. I mean, I'm not the biggest Stroll fan, but
Aston Martin have got to realise they're losing potential in that car.
Yeah, just because he's his son, but it's like at the end of the day, you've got bloody Drugovich sat there in the wings.
Yeah.
Get rid of Stroll, get Drugovich in the car, and then see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Put Stroll back into the reserve. Swap him out, and yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Because
I completely agree with you.
At this point, Drugovich, it's like he's a bit wasted talent.
There's a lot of that waiting just outside the wings at the moment, which is discussions we've had before.
And it's just like it's like, okay, yeah, Danny managed to get through Q2. We'll go into Q2. And yet again, Yuki outqualified Danny in Q1 and Q2. The problem is Yuki's got to be careful with himself. Yes, he's outperforming Danny, trying to make himself look good. But you don't want Yuki becoming cocky.
I don't think he's. I think he's.
I think,
I think we've sat here before and talked about him as a.
well, it's like his outbursts. You know, it's like Bahrain. I think after Bahrain, he realised, yeah, shit, I shouldn't do that. And, you know, his outbursts maybe. I mean, it's in saying that, though, it's. To be fair, a lot of them are quite hot-headed when.
It's adrenaline
The
when you're racing
adrenaline.
and that.
Yeah. I mean, Haas have an okay car. Well, if it's in the hands of Hulkenberg, of course.
I don't think it's as good now as there was a couple of years ago where it looked really good. And I don't think it's unfortunately that good this year.
No.
Or it's just the case, as we've discussed before, where other teams have made far better jumps forward.
Yes, but other teams have got the money. Gene Haas just really just doesn't seem to give a shit about that team anymore.
Well, when they let Gunther go, what do you expect?
I've heard rumours that maybe Gunther might be returning to F1. Don't know if it's true.
I haven't heard of it. I mean, I don't know. Can he drive? You know, we need somebody to get Danny Rick. I'll get Gunther in the car.
I don't know if it's true, but I'd heard a rumour, which I'm taking with a pinch of salt, that apparently he's going to come back to F1 as a team owner and also backed by Netflix.
Now, I've heard nothing to that nature.
I'd heard the rumour, but it's like, yeah, take that as a pinch of
Should be
salt.
interesting.
It's not like he hasn't got the money. It'd be interesting, him as the owner, but
It depends which team, though.
His own team.
Yeah, but which you've got to think it's got to be taking over one of the teams that's currently there, because the Andretti deal has proven F1 are very against getting some new teams in.
Exactly. And that's what makes me think the rumour is possibly untrue, because, you know, if the Andretti deal didn't go. Now, but it wasn't so much. Problem was, it wasn't the teams. Some of the teams were up in arms about it, some weren't. You know, more teams, more racing. You know what I mean? More.
Well, the teams were worried that they had to. It meant they were going to split all the prizes one more way, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was Liberty Media that had that choice. Liberty Media was the main one that declined Andretti joining. Which, if Haas pull out, I could see either Andretti launching a bit rebid, or maybe a new team coming. So another different team coming.
Yeah, it's got a seal on it. There was talk for years of ProDrive trying to put something together, wasn't there? That never.
No idea.
There was a lot of years where ProDrive, who famously ran Subaru rally cars.
Don't know on that one. I mean, let's not go too far away. Let's just bring it back on track.
Off track, us never.
Bottas wasn't bad. I mean, Bottas is proving that he can. It's weird. You know, I like Guan Yu Zhou, but I just think he's struggling.
I think the trick is to become Australian. How to drive quick.
Why is it we're not working with Danny Ricciardo? Oh, was that a bit too soon?
Yeah, it's all that stuff. They now basically call him Bottas an honorary Australian, aren't they, after all those?
That sodding Uber advert. Not again. Not putting that image in my head again.
Why?
Because I'm not. I mean, right. McLaren had an okay qualifying. Perez seems to be switched on at the moment. Perez is the Perez we kind of know.
The one we like, the one we know will get results. Yes, he's not quite at Max's level, but let's be honest, there's nobody on that grid I think who is right now.
No.
But he's doing exactly what Red Bull want him to do, which is coming second.
Yeah.
You know, that's all they can ask for right now.
I mean, you know, I know we've said Leclerc is good at qualifying, but for Leclerc to qualify 8th and Sainz just to outshine him again.
Sainz is driving like somebody who doesn't have a job next year.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what...
he really is.
Well,
I really like to see it.
Yeah, but there's what... Do you remember Perez? Before Perez got announced as a second Red Bull?
Before us in this community basically made that happen.
Yeah. It was just like, Perez doesn't have a job next year at that point, and it was like, look how he drove, and then Carlos is doing the exact same.
Yeah, which is great. You know, there's no way he's not going to. Somebody will find a place for him with these kind of results. There's no way he's going to part of the drive next year.
I don't want to say it, but I mean, even if he went to Mercedes, would it be a step back for him?
Yeah, but as I've said to you, if it's just a 12-month thing till other things come along, then, you know, it's a paycheck and more experience.
Exactly.
You know, like I say, if he is strongly linked with the Audi situation, then
We don't know.
just take 12 months in a Merc, learn a bit of experience,
But the thing
then
is,
be ready for
you
it.
know, the thing is, has Fred Vasseur literally sat there thinking, what the fuck have we done?
No, because purely from a business prospect, it's already paying off. Because look at the extra money they've made on share price and that.
But why would I look at that?
No, I'm saying, you know, because at the end of the day, it's business. You know, they won't want to perform well, but they want to make money, and the Hamilton deal's certainly going to do that.
Is it though? Because Leclerc is still going to be number one driver, regardless of whether Hamilton steps into that team or not.
Yeah, I think Hamilton's kind of getting that a little now, because I think Russell is really starting to try and take more charge.
Russell is number one driver at Mercedes.
Oh, yeah.
It's already been said, he's number one. And to be honest, and I'm going to say it now, even though we're, 5 races into the season?
Mm-hmm.
Ferrari have made a big mistake.
It's certainly looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to say it, and Ferrari have made a mistake of getting rid of Sainz.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you. I can't see any positive other than, like I said, the little bit I've said about the share prices. There's no racing benefit to me.
What? Unless Ferrari...
Hamilton's bringing a lot of experience. That's what he has.
But unless Ferrari... He doesn't speak a word of Italian, so he's kind of going to fucking struggle when he goes to Maranello.
He hardly speaks English these days, so...
Unless Ferrari are going to pull it out of the bag with some super fucking machine next year that can give Hamilton an 8th title...
Told
Yeah.
you, always Ferrari's way of making sure Hamilton doesn't get an 8th world title. Make sure he didn't beat Schumacher's record.
Yeah, but why would, like I said, why would you drag him in? That's the thing. It's only money to Ferrari, bringing Hamilton in, really. That's all it is. Hamilton's got a shit ton of sponsors behind him. That's all it is for Ferrari, is the money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but yeah, no, I think they've just, like I said, I think they made a hell of a mistake getting rid of Sainz. I would have chosen Leclerc over Sainz. I would have got rid of Leclerc. But due to certain things,
Like I said, they literally just signed Leclerc into a long-term deal. I don't think they wanted to.
yeah, but it's not just that. It's the fact that obviously you know why you were the one that pointed it out to me why Leclerc got the drive at Ferrari. I think you pointed it out to me. It's either you or Alan, one of them.
I can't recall off the top of my head. Might have been Alan, that one.
The fact that Gilles Bianchi was.
Oh yeah, I knew it was related to Bianchi. I didn't know that had a bearing in him getting the Ferrari drive, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he sort of got the Ferrari thing, was because of Jules.
Is it his brothers in? Is it F3 or F2?
F3. You know about Arthur?
Yeah.
I think it's F3. Don't know who he drives for. Yeah, I do watch F3, but I don't watch it as much as F2.
I barely get a chance to track any either of those, just the way things go.
I'm waiting for the Academy to come back as well.
That's
not coming back yet. I don't think it is F3. It could be I think he's moved up to, could be F2 now. Kind of annoying that I'm flicking through, but yeah, your thoughts on qualifying?
Pretty much what we've come to expect from this year, really. Why there was nothing. Like I said, for the gulf between Fernando and Stroll is the glaringly obvious thing to me. Other than that, Albon seems to have had a bit of a drop in pace. Now, I think maybe that big smash at Australia and the kerfuffle with cars isn't helping that situation. You know, we'd normally expect him to be knocking the doors of the top 10, really. But that's one of them said. That team, I do feel really bad for Williams. The poor guys are fighting like hell, it seems to be, to keep the cars on the track.
Well, yeah.
You know, Valtteri, Nico, Danny, Rick, Yuki were the ones who made Q2 pretty much as normal. Say Yuki out qualifying Danny. And then Mercedes, despite showing reasonable pace in practice, didn't translate it to qualify another race.
Well, they didn't. Yeah, I wasn't mentioning that in the race. You always seem to jump between topics.
Well, no, I'm just saying to like, put ahead, but I'm looking at qualifying now. You know, after the 3rd and 4th in practice 3, that translates to 7th and 9th.
Yeah, but the fact that see, I don't know what the hell happened with the Mercs, because they were looking good, but then I think it was just tyres. I think tyre choice was the way they'd run the tyre strategy that had kind of screwed them a little bit. You know, you had the likes of bloody the McLarens beating the Mercs again. And that's becoming a regular habit.
Oh yeah, say Piastri, Norris is getting so close to his first win, and then he just hasn't had that last little bit of luck he needs yet. Say Carlos blitz Leclerc, by the tune of
Exactly.
by over a second.
Yeah.
No, a tenth. Sorry, a tenth. I'll learn maths one day.
But
7, 8, 6. But no, other than that, there's nothing stands out to me. Like I say, I think we've covered the Alpines. They need to find some performance again.
they need
Don't know.
help.
Still don't really know what's happened to them, but that's been rather a fall from grace.
They need serious help to Alpine. So, yeah, we move on to lap 1. Actually, did we class it as lap 1 or do we just go half a lap?
No, it was lap 1 because it was officially lap 1 because the race got shortened by 3 laps as a result of. I mean, technically, half a lap it was 2 corners.
Well, but they let it run the first sector.
Yeah,
that's why.
Typical Japan, because Japan is a very fast circuit that goes quite narrow. I mean, we've had our fair share of issues on the S-bends.
Yep.
I still remember the time I spun out to the very end of them and you come storming round. I had to take to the grass to avoid my car, I think it was.
Yeah, but that was a similar, kind of a similar location.
No, that was the very last bit of the S's we did that, which is the long sweeping left. But typical start, it appears that Yuki and Danny both got really bad starts.
Yeah.
They dropped back. There was a bit of a mess in the middle. Some cars were on soft, some were on mediums. Albon saw a gap, went for it, and then he got closed on him.
Yeah, because Danny was looking at Stroll.
On the outside. Now, as I said earlier, I don't really put any blame on Danny for that one. It was a first corner incident.
Well, see, the thing was Danny didn't even know Albon was... He knew Albon was there, sort of, to begin with.
Mm.
But as they turned the car, he thought that... Danny thought that Albon had backed out. So he was concentrating on Stroll, because you could see, from the onboard shots, you could see
his head was turned towards that mirror.
Was turned towards the mirror where Stroll was.
Bearing in mind as well, F1 mirrors are notoriously shite.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see a lot in them anyway, so... Unfortunately, he just caught Albon's front wing, which... I think he caught the wing and the wheel slightly, which I think broke Albon's bottom arm and popped the tyre on the back of Danny's car.
Yeah.
I took both of them straight into a tyre wall.
Yeah. And caused a red flag.
The red flag because of damage to because the barrier ended up on top of Albon's car, basically, didn't it?
Yeah.
But you see the onboard, the barrier sort of landed on his car.
Yeah.
Then you go back to what I say, how I feel sorry for Williams, because that's another car with a bent front corner.
Yep.
Because say they're struggling as it is, and they've not got to try and put that. I'm expecting them to turn up at Flaming China, and the car to have a load of Alpine parts on it because they've been and nicked them while they weren't looking.
And it's just, yeah. It wasn't, like I say, you can't really blame, and I never found out the result. I never did find out what the result was.
So there was no penalties issued, I don't think. Now, like I said, to me, I've said this before, if you want drivers to race, you need to let them race. So this is why I say it's a racing incident.
I think even Anthony Davidson? Even he, because he was commentating with Crofty, and even he said it was that he would have put that as a racing incident. He said, but obviously he's not a steward, but you could clearly see, and even like Bernie, she had said, Danny Rick was concentrating on Stroll, and you could see him concentrating on Stroll.
Yeah.
And it was just one of them things. Not a lot was could be done.
Yeah.
At that point. But I tell you what, they were told it'd be 15, 20 minutes. What was it? 15, 20 minutes extra to repair that barrier. Yeah?
Yeah, it was declared as a racing incident. There was no action taken against either driver.
They'd repaired that barrier because there was supposed to be like 15 minutes or so extra on top. They'd done it within 10 minutes.
Well,
it was ridiculous.
I think it was Ted said one. There was about 6 or 7 cars, a big
There
digger.
was.
They were on it quick, which is something Japan's always famously good at.
I mean, the weird thing was when they showed you could see all the trucks lined up. Then there was a truck that was jacked up at the front with the digger on.
Yeah, that's what the digger got loaded onto. That's how, rather than like a slide bed that we'd use in this country, they just use arms and lift the whole front of the truck up.
Which was crazy because I was watching the telly, I was like, hang on, if they jacked that truck up at the front, and I was just like, oh, yeah.
No, the legs were built into it. Like I said, that's just how they load and unload it.
Yeah, but there was support, there were support arms.
Yeah, like I said, because what it was rather.
But
in this country, we generally use like a roll-off body.
But it jacked it up, so it put the front of the cab in the air.
Yeah, so to allow you to be able to set the digger off.
And it was just like, wow. And then when they said, "Oh yeah, the race is going to resume," it was like, what?
Well, they got the 10-minute warning they're supposed to, but yeah, they got it done, sorted out
very quickly.
I guess it's one of them. Until they get down there and sort of pull away the bits that are damaged, they don't know just how badly damaged that barrier is. They might have been able to, because they've got to put it back, thinking, well, if another car hits that same spot, it's got to perform as well.
Yeah. But they put it back exactly how it was.
Yeah. I think just the Amoco sign was probably missing, because I think that took a battering.
And I mean, it was just like, wow, that was quick. And then it was like, out again, standing start, and there we go. And to be honest, it was one of the better Japans.
It was all right, wasn't it? I mean, the one thing I will say is we spent the whole build-up and like the thing, Crofty and them saying how it's a circuit that's difficult to overtake on. Nobody seemed to tell the drivers this fact.
No.
I know DRS was assisting, don't get me wrong, but still there was
still plenty going on.
There was plenty of overtakes, there was plenty of people willing to have a go.
Yeah. And into crazy corners where you wouldn't think.
Oh, Perez into 130R?
Yeah.
That was suicide.
It's just like, Perez, what are you doing?
Even me and Alan wouldn't go wheel to wheel into 130R. And that's saying something.
But Perez did.
Twice.
Yeah. It was like, Perez, what are you doing? Perez,
I will say.
It's like, Perez, that's 130R. Perez, that is 130.
There is one line through that corner, or there's a barrier. That's your choices.
Yeah, and bloody hell. That's what I mean. He'd taken some risks, but it worked.
Oh yeah, it worked out. But there was plenty of overtakes in general.
Oh yeah.
Was it Oscar around the outside near the top of the S?
Yep.
Which is crazy.
And
then I will say I kind of think Russell was lucky to get away with that slap on the wrist for that attempt on Oscar near the end. I mean, he dived in from what felt like a mile back and forced Oscar onto the escape road, and they did slightly make contact. Now, I'm surprised. I don't think a penalty because neither car ended up out.
No, they had to go at the stewards.
Yeah. But I think it was me that got a telling off for that.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was a bit.
No, I also kind of feel bad for Oscar because he's worked so hard and then he's made that one mistake.
Yeah. And, yet again, Mercedes didn't have
Mercedes were going backwards.
the pace. I mean, I will say this: fair play to Yuki for, yes, it was only a point, but it was a point at his home race.
Oh yeah, the first one since, was it Kobayashi in 2012?
Yeah. And okay, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and slag Danny Rick off, or obviously Albon or anything, but obviously Yuki, yes, outperformed Danny, but Danny just couldn't help that slight incident there.
Yeah.
I mean, Sargent, on the other hand, he was the only Williams car in the race, but yet still couldn't deliver even after Guan Yu Zhou had retired.
Yep. I mean, fair play for keeping it out the wall and reversing it out of the gravel trap, though.
Where was that? Degner 2?
Degner too, yeah, got it wrong going in, wheel on the grass. Managed to get his stop and then reversed. I actually thought he might have copped a bit of a telling off for that because the amount of gravel he brought back onto the track.
But it wasn't just the gravel. Did you see the way he joined on the track and look who come around the corner?
Yeah, I know. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get a little bit of a telling off for that one.
I heard nothing about it.
No, there's nothing. You look at the end of the results, they will be listed at the bottom, and there was actually no penalties as far as I can see awarded that race.
No. I mean, I think it'll be more by the team that look, when you rejoin the track, don't do what you did in Japan. Yes,
yeah, because he put all the cars that come around straight up back of him.
Because yes, it was yellow flagged, but it was only a yellow single. Wasn't a double. I'm sure it was a McLaren at that point. I think it was Alonso and Oscar that had come around the corner at that point.
Was it Perez or someone like that?
No, it was Green. I think it was Alonso. There was somebody anyway. There was two cars anyways.
Yeah.
It's no good doing these early morning races.
Well, I think this next one will be the last one, won't it?
Until we then go to crappy times. Well, not crappy times, but one of the races is like 9 at night. Miami, I want to say, but I can't remember.
Now, the night ones don't bother me quite as much because that's not a case of getting up early. I'm usually up at that time anyway.
I know Imola's going to be an afternoon. 9 o'clock at night. Miami. That doesn't bother me. It kind of does, because if I'm in the middle of fucking streaming, it does. So, and I will be at that time, because I'll be an hour into a stream. That'll be a case of I have the race on my phone in front of me. Quiet, literally on silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just look down, but then I'll be making sure that
if anybody asks, he's reading chat, folks.
I'll be watching the. I'll have to watch the rerun as well.
Yeah.
Afterwards, because I know I'll be up doing whatever afterwards, so I know I'll be able to catch the rerun again.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say?
No, look, let's just the middle of the race, sort of, apart from the overtake, sort of petered out to not a great deal, really. Red Bull ran away, Ferrari 3 and 4. Yuki got a point. Hulkenberg just missed out on a point. Stroll, I guess, kind of get back up to 12th isn't the worst, but once again, when your teammates bring it home 6th
Yeah.
and bringing in points, it's not great.
And, you've got the likes of, obviously, Russell beating Hamilton again. But they...
It was a gearbox issue, so Zhao won it.
Yes. But
Yeah.
they were told to swap. Hamilton
Well,
and
Hamilton
Russell.
asked, didn't he? Hamilton asked, should we swap?
Yeah. No, that's not like Hamilton to suggest that.
I think because he had no confidence in that car, did he? 'Cause he was on the radio complaining about how slow they were.
So was Stroll.
It wasn't slow. He wasn't slowing his teammates' hands.
No, it wasn't.
I've been booking Stroll in for an emergency appendix out just in case.
This is the thing I don't get why they bother keeping Stroll. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens at summer break. And if it turns out that Stroll gets replaced during summer break, I'll be happy as fuck. Alpine are in real trouble. Alpine need to seriously start bouncing back.
Oh, yeah.
Like I say, Sergeant days are numbered. Guan Yu Zhou, it was unfortunate, so I can't really, say too much about that there.
Sauber have their own issues anyway with the pit stops and the wheel nuts, which seem to be a little bit more on top of this race.
Still slow stop though. Still very
well, they're having to add because if they try and go for the
quick
stops, they end up with the wheel nuts cross-threading and end up with bigger problems. So
that's something that they need to work on.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, okay, so I'm just quick scrolling through the drivers, drivers standings championship.
Yeah.
Albon, Guan Yu Zhou, Danny Rick, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, and Sargent haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
It still makes me laugh seeing Ollie Behrman's name there. That generally I would
he's been in one race.
I would consider a rookie. One race, but yet outscores people that have been
in it for years.
Yeah. Like Hulkenberg, K-Mag. It's... And this isn't looking good at the moment for the construction standings. That's the question I've got for you. If a team at the moment, Williams, Sauber, and Alpine, if they got to the end of the season with 0 points, how much money would they get? How much money?
I don't know that.
I don't
know the answer to that one, I'm afraid.
No, but because I know that they're supposed to get money, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you get money based on the position. It's not on the number of points.
Well, Alpine wouldn't get a lot then, would they, at the minute?
I think literally there's a prize pool of so many millions that's split 10 ways. Obviously, the winner gets more than 10th, but it's a set split. So if you're 10th, it doesn't matter if you're 10th with 1 point or 10th with 1,000 points, and having still be 10th, you just get the 10th place.
I mean, at the moment, even in the Construction Championship, I know this is early to be talking about this, but with the run of form that Red Bull have had, they're only basically 21 points clear at this point of Ferrari.
Very close right now.
Yeah. I mean, even like Max, Max got 77 points. Perez, in the Driver Championship, Perez got 64. Then you've got 59 for Leclerc and 55 for Carlos. Then there's a couple of points between Lando and Oscar. Then Russell and Alonso are tied on points right now. And then obviously, you've got Hamilton on 10 points, Stroll on 9, Yuki 7 points, Ollie Behrman 6. it makes me wonder how the fuck has Max still got them points? But then I realise, of course, with the way
That's just absolute.
with the way the race results has gone, he's only had one DNF.
Yeah.
Which was Australia. So
Yeah,
far, Max has won 3 out of 4.
Yeah, that's it.
Perez
Won the other one. No, Sainz won the other one.
Sainz
Perez.
won the other one. Perez didn't do well at Australia.
Yeah, so a bit of luck has sort of kept him in front.
Yeah. But because he's had for second, and second, like at Japan, it still kept him in front.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a safety car.
No, went straight to red, and that was it.
I get why they chucked the red flag, though. I'm not going to complain at that.
100%.
I got why they chucked a red and not chuck a safety car out. There was...
That barrier needed repairing, simple as that. That's 100% that back their decision. Especially Japan, of all places, they're going to be careful on stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
The history on that track.
But it was... Okay, it was let him get to the first sector, red, but it was quite quick. It was quickly done. Because I don't think everybody had got to first sector though when the red flag had come out, had they? Or had they?
I think they had. I think they'd all the cars that were still running had just got there.
Ah, right, okay. So, and then they chucked the red flag.
Just so they had that timing marker so they didn't have to do a grid start again. Which you had to leave 2 empty gaps in the grid, which gets complicated and...
Yeah, because they didn't, did they? They just basically bunched them up.
No, but that's because they had... That one says if they'd have gone back to starting grid position...
They'd have had 2 gaps.
They'd have had to leave Albon and Danny Rick's place out.
Yeah.
Which can be difficult. The driver behind, it's all too easy for them to roll into the wrong grid slot because they're not expecting an empty space and that. But
yeah.
I think the right decisions were made.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Just like I said, I'm looking forward to China being back on the map again for the first time in 3 or 4 years.
Sprint race.
That monstrous long back straight.
Sprint race.
Yep, sprint race weekend, our first one of this year. I don't know if there are any changes to the format. I don't believe there is.
Still the same.
Yeah. So I still don't fully agree with the qualifying setup, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. There is one more thing
There is.
that we do
There
have
certainly
to
is.
do. Just let me quickly grab the league up that I want. Alright, sorry guys, so you will actually see this because I'm trying to grab one of the league up. Okay. If I go there, go to leagues. Okay. So when I get to private league, I will swap it over. So obviously, if you're listening on Spotify, you know the drill, but there is a video version that you can
look at, yeah.
So obviously, you've got this league, which you can join. Link is at the top of the Spotify description, Amazon, or wherever else you get your podcasts, apart from Apple. So
somebody got lucky this race.
Somebody got fucking lucky this race because of the chip.
Yeah, somebody had a lot of negatives but managed to cancel them all out.
Yes.
I mean, overall, I am still not panicking.
I know you're not panicking.
Because I am over 100 points clear of you, and I am 200 points clear of Alan.
Yeah, that's at the moment. This is only round.
Oh, yeah.
This is only round 4.
I know, but it's all trending in the right direction. I mean, I didn't lose. I lost, what, 40 points to you?
I mean, I feel sorry for Ryan here.
His team could do with a reshuffle.
Yes.
If you're listening, mate, there's a lot better you could be doing there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's still got 2.1. I mean, honestly, Alan got screwed as well.
No, but it's only Danny Ricciardo that caused him an issue.
Yeah, but it was that's the problem with Ryan. It was Albon and Danny Rick.
To be honest, I've got Albon, Ricciardo, Zhao, and Williams.
Yeah.
I had 4 negatives. Luckily, my 2 strong positives in Ferrari and Verstappen.
Yeah, but
I could at least
I
drag my
had
average a little bit.
I had -4 on RB, -10 Williams, -19 Ricardo.
You lost 55 points.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, your triple on Sainz dragged you back, whereas I lost 20.
Exactly.
39. In fact, I lost more. I lost 39, 49. I lost about 70.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean,
But I mean, overall, looking at the overall leagues, I have to go here again. Yeah, you're at 588 in total.
Hmm.
I'll claw back. I'll just
we'll see how it goes yet. We have a lot of ground to cover yet.
I know we've got a lot of ground to cover. That's the thing, we have to be careful of not to use our chips, because I don't know when the chips reset. Or if they reset entirely this season.
We'll find out, I guess.
Unless they reset after summer break. This is the current standings right now. I'm not worried at the moment about Alan. And I'm not worried about Ryan at this moment in time.
I'm not worried about any of you. Let's see what happens. We've got a lot of ground to cover yet.
My goal is catching you.
We'll see, young Padawan. We'll see.
What do you mean, young Padawan? I beat you both last season.
He wins one thing, folks, and we never hear the end of it.
Not the only thing I've won. I managed to beat Alan and Leon a lot on Turbo Golf Racing thing.
Aye.
Yeah, I managed to beat them quite a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else?
No, I think we covered those ends about China and that. No, it's, I say probably not the absolute greatest Japanese Grand Prix, but say plenty of overtakes was nice to see. Plenty of people willing to have a go.
Yeah.
If we can have more of that this season, we're in for a good time.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna end this one here. So obviously, thank you for everybody for listening. Obviously, don't forget to subscribe to the gaming channel. Obviously, like you say, if you want to join the podcast league, you can do. The link to that is above. You can still join even though the season's started. You'll just have to have a hell of a recovery.
No, I think if you've already set the team up, I think it does proactively put the points in, doesn't it?
No, because Ryan didn't get any points for one of his races.
Right.
But I think he didn't set it up till Jeddah.
Yeah.
So it didn't put him in for Bahrain. So,
right.
Yeah, even if you do come in late, then
you've still got a chance. We're early enough days now where it's not all over and done with.
No. Obviously, once we get towards the end of the season, if we get last 3 races, I obviously won't advertise the league as much because there's no point anybody joining towards the end unless you're a real diehard and want to try and
the ultimate comeback.
Yeah. And obviously, thank you, David, for joining me again on this one.
It's a pleasure as always.
Don't forget, guys, it'll be out on a Wednesday afternoon, and the next one will be obviously out in the next races. So we shall see you after the Chinese Grand Prix. So until then,
Later, folks.
goodbye for now.